Have you ever seen the movie The Social Network? Well, today, going to have a conversation with myself, Nicholas, with Zenith and Naval Ravikant about the movie The Social Network. It came out in 2010, and it's about the very beginning of the Facebook, as it was called then. As we know today, it's Facebook or Meta, and starts with Mark Zuckerberg over at Harvard, and really interesting movie. And so I'm going to leave it there, and I'll let you enjoy the conversation we have.
On another topic, I just wanted to ask, has anybody seen the movie The Social Network? Came out in 2010, I think, about the story of the founding of Facebook. I just saw it recently and found certain elements of it interesting, and just wanted to see anybody that did see it, what did you think of the movie The Social Network?
The Social Network was my favorite film of 2010. I loved that movie. Great story of friendship, betrayal, teamwork, and just life falling together sometimes or falling apart. In that case, great soundtrack as well. Trent Reznor, he won the Academy Award for it that year, I remember. It was a really unique track as well. I still listen to it sometimes. But right after the movie came out, I remember that was my study playlist soundtrack in college.
Zenith, you had replied back about The Social Network, and you mentioned that you thought it was a good movie that included elements of friendship and betrayal, and mentioned the soundtrack. Yeah, definitely there's betrayal in that movie, in a few different parts of it. At the beginning, obviously, with how the Facebook idea came about, with the, kind of almost taking it from those other Harvard guys. And then, of course, with the partnership between Mark and his partner. So two things jumped out at me about the movie, The Social Network. The first is just how the idea came about. When I've heard Mark Zuckerberg talk publicly about the start of Facebook, it sounds like it was all his idea, but watching the movie and doing some research, it looks like there might be some problems there with another group of Harvard guys that had a similar idea to start a social networking website. So that was interesting. So the big takeaway from, I think, this history of Facebook for me was that the importance of working with teams and having people that can make up for your things that you don't have. It's possible Facebook would have never come around if Mark Zuckerberg would have never have met Sean Parker or eventually Peter Thiel. He might have just been a really smart guy that just kind of didn't go anywhere with that idea. So I'm curious, has anybody else seen the movie The Social Network? And if so, what did you think of it?
Ideas are irrelevant. Every idea has been thought of. It's just about execution and about the details of the execution. So, for example, even before Facebook, there was Friendster and there was MySpace. So the idea was not new.
Naval, yes, I completely agree how important execution is. In regard to how things got started with Mark over at Harvard, starting Facebook, I think, yes, I totally forgot about Friendster and MySpace, so thank you for reminding me about those. But I think the controversy was more in how when Mark was working with those Harvard fraternity guys, how he was not communicating with them and playing along like he was with their company. So maybe that gave Mark Zuckerberg a competitive advantage over the other guys. But regardless, the execution, I think, is important. Like I was saying, the introduction of Sean Parker between Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel, I think that was one of the things among many that helped get Facebook really starting to scale with the proper funds they needed.